It was a full-on midnight political drama in Pakistan. After a month-long tussle, Imran Khan has now been officially sacked as the Prime Minister of Pakistan. Voting was held on the no-confidence vote against him. National Assembly passed a no-confidence motion with 174 votes. That makes Imran Khan the first Pakistani Prime Minister to be voted out. The PTI members staged a protest outside the National Assembly of Pakistan while the voting was underway. Assembly Speaker and his deputy resigned just before the voting had started. Meanwhile, PMLN leader Maryam Nawaz Sharif reacted to the vote and said nightmare for Pakistan is over. The National Assembly will meet again on Monday afternoon and elect the new Prime Minister of Pakistan. The nomination, though, for that will have to be filed itself by 2 p.m. today. But according to reports coming in, Imran Khan vacated the Prime Minister's official residence minutes before he lost the crucial no-confidence vote.
174 members have recorded their votes in favor of the resolution. Consequently, the resolution for vote of no confidence against Mr. Imran Khan, the Prime Minister of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, has been passed by a majority of the total membership of the National Assembly. आज प्लीज तशरीफ रखें ऑर्डर इन द हाउस। आज पाकिस्तान की ऑपोजिशन के सारे कायदीन यहाँ बैठे हैं और शिद्दत से मियां नवाज शरीफ साहब की कमी महसूस हो रही है।
मैं आज ये फैसला करता हूँ और मैंने फैसला किया है कि मैं स्पीकर के ओहदे पे मजीद नहीं रह सकता और मैं अपने ओहदे से इस्तीफा देता हूँ। मैंने अपनी ज़िंदगी का बहुत लंबा अरसा अपने लीडर इमरान खान के साथ गुजारा। 26 साल से मैं उसके साथ रहा। मैं स्टूडेंट लाइफ से, जब मैं स्टूडेंट था उस वक्त मैंने तहरीक इंसाफ ज्वाइन की और उस वक्त जब मैं शौकत खानम कैंपेन चली थी मैं उस वक्त उसके साथ था। मैं चूंकि इस वक्त एक कौमी फरीज़ा है और सुप्रीम कोर्ट का एक फैसला है, इसको मनोअन तस्लीम करते हुए उसकी जो प्रोसीजर है उसको आगे बढ़ाते हुए मैं जो पैनल ऑफ चेयरमैन है आया सादिक साहब वो बाकी इजलास वो चलाएगा और जो इसकी लीगल वो उसके मुताबिक करेगा।
इस शेर के साथ मैं अपनी बात ख़त्म करूंगा कि जब अपना काफिला अज़्म यकीन से निकलेगा, आप और मुस्कुराएं इसलिए कि मुस्कुराने के दिन है ये आज। जब अपना काफिला अज़्म यकीन से निकलेगा, जहां से चाहेंगे रास्ता वहीं से निकलेगा। वतन की मट्टी मुझे एड़ियां रगड़ने दे, मुझे यकीन है चश्मा यहीं से निकलेगा।
मैं सर दिसंबर से मुस्कुरा रहा हूँ, फिर मैं फरवरी में भी मुस्कुराता ही रहा और मैं कहता था कुछ बड़ा होने वाला है।
And now joining me live from Islamabad is Kanwar Naeem. He's a Pakistani journalist. Kanwar, what time are we expecting nominations and should we consider that it is Shehbaz Sharif as perhaps the only one who's likely to become the next Prime Minister? Could there be more nominations filed today? Kanwar.
Actually, the time of submission of nomination papers was earlier decided to be 12 a.m. today, but it is extended now to 2 p.m. And it would be the nomination forms would be assisted and examined by 3 p.m. today. And as far as your second question is concerned, whether Shehbaz Sharif is going to be the only candidate for the PM-ship, yes, according to the sources, he is going to be the only person nominated for the PM-ship, as it was earlier decided among the joint opposition parties that they are going to nominate Shehbaz Sharif as the next Prime Minister of Pakistan. And reports are coming, and it sounds quite logical that the government is not going to nominate anyone from their side. Ex-government,
yes,
which is now the opposition party of Pakistan, the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, they are not going to nominate anyone from their side for the PM-ship of Pakistan. So yes, Shehbaz Sharif is going to be the only candidate. if they are agreed, if their agreement is still intact, because now the opposition has become the government, so their coalition will also be broken in coming days, as it is expected and as it has been hinted by the MNAs of opposition parties.
Also, Cover, I do want to know, because once this appears to be over, there will be a new Prime Minister. People will look back, specifically the citizens of Pakistan, or what actually happened yesterday night. And it was about till 2 a.m. that the final clarity had come. So do tell us exactly, in brief, of how that midnight was for Pakistan. Were citizens, mainly all of them, awake, watching television, trying to get all information about whether Imran Khan is staying or is out?
I, with a number of journalists, anchors, and observers, stayed in Parliament, National Assembly yesterday for over 16 hours. And to our surprise, people were calling us, what's going to happen, what's happening, why is this all chaos, why are they delaying, is everything all right, what's going to happen. And even at some point of time, people were expecting that there is going to be a coup. And so as far as public sentiment is concerned, the whole Pakistan was awake and everybody had eyes fixed at National Assembly of Pakistan. Was a D-Day, a big day for Pakistan. And after after so many years, we saw such a sight at Red Zone. There were army vehicles, there were police personnel deployed, there were checkposts at the entrance points of Red Zone, and there were prisoner van in the Red Zone. So it was quite dramatic and quite we were in the you may say a sense of unexpectations were there. Like we were not sure whether no confidence is going to happen, and at the 11th hour, the way Speaker and Deputy Speaker resigned, so things were getting very dramatic. It was like some film is going on, and at any moment a curtain would be down on.
And Kamal, now that curtain has come down, my final question would be, Pakistani journalists or public में cricketing terms में किस तरह को इस रात को define किया जाएगा? इमरान खान run out हुए, retired hurt हुए, game over, खेल खत्म, किस तरह से इसको देखा जा रहा है?
लग तो ये रहा था कि वो आगे बढ़ के छक्का मारने के चक्कर में, लेकिन वो स्टंप हो गए। उन्होंने कहा कि क्योंकि आपको मालूम है, सुबह सेनेटर फैसल जावेद साहब का जब मैंने इंटरव्यू किया, एक शॉर्ट सी टॉक थी, उसमें मैंने उनसे पूछा था कि आपने सुप्रीम कोर्ट जाने के टाइम पर भी कहा कि देयर इज अ सरप्राइज, वंस अगेन यू आर सेइंग देयर इज अ सरप्राइज, कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट की तरह ही यहाँ पर भी सरप्राइज वैसा ही होगा जैसा सुप्रीम कोर्ट में था। तो ही सेड सरप्राइज से अब बात बहुत आगे जा चुकी है, अवाम जाग गई है, अवाम ने फैसला कर लिया है।
It's public, and it's of course numbers also not with him, but Imran Khan stumped is actually how that midnight drama can be defined. Kamal Naeem, thank you so much for joining me from Islamabad on the latest on that. All of these journalists, remember, were awake and were reporting till about 2-3 a.m. last night. So this high-octane drama ended Imran Khan's tenure after a month-long battle. Pakistan National Assembly will now convene again on Monday for electing the next Prime Minister of the country. Here's a special report now on the exit of Imran Khan, who was stumped. Rumour of sacking mighty Pakistani Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa. Prisoner vans outside the Parliament. Prime Minister sacked. Pakistani Awam witnessing one of the most dramatic nights in their country's history. The chain reaction started during the day after the assembly session commenced. But the political mayhem peaked after dusk. United opposition demanded a trust vote by 8 p.m. but it did not take place. The clock was ticking, running a lot faster for Khan and his government. According to Supreme Court's order, no confidence vote was mandatory before midnight, otherwise Khan would face consequences. The next big development came from the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice instructed relevant officials of the top court to open the doors at midnight. Embattled Prime Minister Imran Khan held a key meeting with his cabinet, but nothing much could be done. Meanwhile, rumours started that Imran Khan is planning to sack the Pakistani Army Chief General Bajwa. But Imran Khan was fast enough to put the rumour to rest. Khan, who had no chance to survive the motions, said he will fight till the end. Security was beefed up. Prisoner vans were called. For once it looked that Khan might be arrested. The petition was filed in the High Court to stop Imran Khan, Shah Mahmood Qureshi and Fawad Chaudhry from leaving the country. Around midnight, the final leg of the political tamasha began. Just ahead of the vote, Assembly Speaker and his deputy resigned. Opposition party leader Ayaz Sadiq to preside the Assembly session. Imran's loyal lieutenant Fawad Chaudhry also knew the time was up for Khan, and he was correct. Khan became the first Prime Minister of Pakistan to be voted out. National Assembly passing a no-confidence motion with 174 votes.
Consequently, the resolution for vote of no confidence against Mr. Imran Khan, the Prime Minister of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, has been passed by a majority of the total membership of the National Assembly.
Shehbaz Sharif, who is likely to be the next Prime Minister of Pakistan, expressed his thanks to the members.
शुक्रिया अदा करते हैं कि अल्लाह ताला के फजल करम से उनकी जदोजहद, उनकी कुर्बानियाँ आज रंग लाई हैं और आज दोबारा पाकिस्तान के अंदर आइन और कानून का पाकिस्तान दोबारा बना चाहता है इंशाअल्लाह ताला.
PPP chairperson Bilawal Bhutto Zardari welcomed the Awam to Purana Pakistan.
हमने selected करार दे दिया था और जो गैर जमहूरी बोझ ये मुल्क 3 साल से उठा रहा था, आज 10th April 2022, welcome back to Purana Pakistan.
The Pakistan National Assembly will convene tomorrow at 2 p.m. to elect the new Prime Minister of Pakistan. Imran played the last ball, as he said, but lost the most crucial innings of his political career. Bureau Report, India Today. He has been a legendary sportsperson and also the first Pakistani Prime Minister now to be sacked. That is how Imran Khan will be remembered for generations. He lost power late on Saturday night, voted out by the Assembly in a test of strength that was stalled all day. Here's a report on the oscillating career and the overnight showdown of Imran Khan, cricketer turned neta. Take a look.
इमरान अपना अक्सरियत खो बैठा है.
A bowler par excellence. A reliable batsman. First and only Pakistan captain to lift the World Cup for his nation. Imran Khan is perhaps the greatest cricketer produced by Pakistan. A legend who inspired a generation of pacers, not just in Pakistan but across the world. 30 years later, Imran Khan betrayed every ethos of a good sportsman as he became the first Pakistani Prime Minister to be sacked after losing the trust vote. First, instead of taking on his opponents head-on, he dug the trust vote by not showing up for the proceedings in the Pakistan Assembly. As the captain of his team, the PTI, Imran Khan abandoned his party members and the loyalists.
यहाँ बड़ी-बड़ी हस्तियां हो गुजरी, बड़े-बड़े नामवर लीडर यहाँ पैदा हुए, इस कौम ने पैदा किए. आज वो 6 मन मट्टी के नीचे सो रहे हैं. कल हम भी नहीं होंगे, लेकिन तारीख गवाह होगी. तारीख हकायक कभी छुपते नहीं हैं, दबाए जा सकते हैं, पर्दे में रखे जा सकते हैं, छुपाए जा सकते हैं, लेकिन एक वक्त आएगा जनाब चेयरमैन कि तारीख उनको बेनकाब करेगी. तारीख उन लोगों को जिन लोगों ने ये सारा नाटक रचाया है वो उनको बेनकाब करेगी।
Boxed into a corner and seeing that there was no way he could hold on to the Prime Minister's chair, Imran Khan then tried to fix the match.
वज़ीर-ए-आज़म पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ अपोजिशन ने अदम एतमाद की तहरीक 8 मार्च 2022 को पेश की थी। अदम एतमाद की तहरीक का आइन, कानून और रूल्स के मुताबिक होना जरूरी है। किसी गैर मुल्की ताकत को यह हक नहीं कि वो साजिश के तहत पाकिस्तान के अवाम की मुंतखब हुकूमत को गिराए। वजीर कानून ने जो नुकात उठाए हैं वो दुरुस्त है, वैलिड है, लिहाजा मैं रूलिंग देता हूं कि अदम एतमाद की करारदाद आइन और कौमी मुख्तारी व आज़ादी से मुनाफी है और रूल्स और ज़ाब्ते के खिलाफ है। ये करारदाद में मुस्तरद डिसअलाउ करने की रूलिंग देता हूं। ईवान की कार्रवाई रोक की जाती है। फरमान में इस्लामी जमहूरिया पाकिस्तान के दस्तूर के आर्टिकल 54 की शिक 3 के तहत तजवीज़ करदा इख्तियारात को बरवेकार लाते हुए कौमी असम्बली का जुमा 25 मार्च 2022 को तलब करदा इजलास इसके काम के इख्तिताम पर बाज़रिया हाज़िर बर्खास्त करता हूं।
He tried to tamper the ball again by delaying the trust vote that the Pakistan Supreme Court had ordered to be carried out on 9th April.
का कप्तान भाग रहा है, भागते भागते तौहीन अदालत कर रहा है, भागते भागते आइन शिकनी कर रहे हैं।
He was finally run out by the opposition and the Pakistan judiciary, which forced a vote on the no confidence motion past midnight.
गैलरी में तशरीफ रखें।
With the writing on the wall being clear, Team Imran finally conceded defeat. Imran Khan retired hurt, leaving his official residence for his private estate in Banigala, even as the voting in the Pakistani Assembly was underway. From a champion to a sore loser, this is how Imran Khan will now be remembered. Bureau Report, India Today. Imran Khan has been bowled out as the Prime Minister of Pakistan. So then what is next for the country? The National Assembly is likely to elect a new PM on Monday, while the new Prime Minister can then immediately call for general elections on a scheduled date. So there are some scenarios that are coming forth of what could be expected in Pakistan in the next few days. Now remember, he was the man who led Pakistan to its maiden World Cup victory. Imran Khan then was expected to lead the country to its new avatar, a Naya Pakistan. At least that is what the voters were hoping for in 2018. But in the last 3.5 years since Imran Khan became the Prime Minister, much has changed. So of the many hats that he did don in his life so far, Imran Khan, the Prime Minister, may just have been the highest point. But now it is likely to be the lowest point of his innings. Take a look at this report.
On the day Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered his troops to march into Ukraine, he had a visitor. The Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan came calling. For the first time in 23 years, a Prime Minister from Pakistan had paid a visit to the Kremlin.
What a time I've come, so much excitement.
The scheduled meeting was for 1 hour, but it stretched to 3. It was the beginning of Putin's Russia being cornered by the Western powers. And Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan's visit turned out to be a show of solidarity. It served both parties, because back home in Pakistan, Imran Khan too was being cornered politically by a united opposition.
ये नए पाकिस्तान की शुरुआत है, जिस हमारे नए पाकिस्तान में बड़े-बड़े डाकू अब से असेंबलियों में नहीं जाएंगे, वजीर नहीं बनेंगे, वजीर आजम नहीं बनेगा, सदर नहीं बनेगा, बड़े-बड़े डाकू अब जेलों में जाएंगे.
The man who came to power promising a Naya Pakistan or a new Pakistan, halfway into his term as the 22nd Prime Minister, is facing removal. Pakistan's economy is in deep crisis. The pandemic has not helped. And the prosecution of opposition leaders added to Imran Khan's dwindling popularity.
पुलिस के थ्रू उन्होंने पार्लिमानी लॉजेस पे हमला करके शो ऑफ फोर्स किया, और जो धमकी खान साहब 27 फरवरी का दे रहे हैं कि अगर कोई मेंबर ने अपना वोट का हक इस्तेमाल करना है तो उनके कारकुन के बीच से जाना पड़ेगा, वो भी एक थ्रेट है यूज ऑफ फोर्स का।
The Prime Minister of Pakistan responded with his own jibes.
गवर्नमेंट बचाने के लिए ये जो थ्री स्टूजेस वाली ऑपोजिशन है, जिसमें चेरी ब्लॉसम भी एक है, पहले दिन से ब्लैकमेल करने की कोशिश है। जब मौका मिलता है हुकूमत को गिराने की सिर्फ एक वजह से कोशिश करते हैं कि जनाब हम कोई खास अल्लाह के मखलूक हैं, हम चोरी करें, डाका मारें, इनको कोई खास ऐसी मखलूक है कि इनको सब कुछ माफ हो जाना चाहिए।
Cornered at home, Imran Khan showed a brave face to the world. At the recent Organization of Islamic Cooperation meet held in Islamabad, Imran Khan urged leaders of the Islamic nations to mediate in the war in Ukraine.
May I suggest that the OIC, during its discussions, the foreign ministers, we should think about how we, represent 1.5 billion people, how we can mediate, how we can bring about a ceasefire, how we can try and put an end to the conflict. I'm going to meet His Excellency Wang Yi after this, and I want to discuss how maybe OIC along with China, how we can all step in and try to stop this conflict, which is going to have, if it keeps going the way it is, it will have great consequences for the rest of the world.
But however much Imran Khan puts up a brave face looking outwards, inwards at home, the rallies against him only keep growing. Because just like in a jungle, in politics too, the opponents have smelt blood. And the opposition parties of Pakistan are not going to let up till Imran Khan's fate gets decided on the floor of the House.